These rolls of wire are being loaded onto a truck. Normally they're delivered by train, but there's been a 3-day strike. The company mustered enough trucks and drivers just in time. Have you got a lot to do during the strikes?
Yeah, we're pretty busy.
It's for an essential customer who works with a lot of our wire. Normally they'd have received the delivery by train, but that didn't happen. Now it's going by truck.
And they can't wait.
No, they can't. The factory has almost come to a standstill. If the truck doesn't arrive early tomorrow morning, they'll have to shut down the machines.
The longer a strike lasts, the more critical it becomes. Trucks are much more flexible, but they can't carry as much freight as trains of the same size. The steelworks has already dealt with 10,000 tons of wire. The wire has to be unloaded from the trains and then loaded onto ships and trucks. But transfers like this cost time and money. The head of logistics spent days adding extra shifts to the schedules.
1500 Tonnen? Werden wir denn fertig jetzt oder wird das nicht mehr fertig?
Ich denke mal nicht mehr ganz.
Dann müssen wir einen extra
We need another shift to empty this freight. That's a problem and there's nothing we can do.
Das Problem, ne?
Who has to pay for that?
The company has to pay for it. The German National Rail certainly won't. We have to deal with it ourselves. That's the problem.
Ja, das ist das Problem. Ja.
There's nothing we can do.
Kann man nichts machen.
There's no chance of a reimbursement from the German rail, even though this steelworks has had to pay an extra 100,000 euros for these 3 days alone. It's all about keeping on top of each step in the delivery chain. There's no time to spare. The truck drivers are also under pressure. Most goods arrive just in time, or at the most a few hours before the next step.
The product costs money, and so does storage. In the last few years, costs were negligible. Companies could warehouse their goods on the trucks, the trains and the shipping vessels while they awaited transport. When that's not available, then large manufacturers have to stop production because they can't move their goods from the factories.
The Dow Chemical Company doesn't have a large storage depot. It produces immense quantities of plastics, solvents and varnishes around the clock. A quarter of their products are moved by train. They've got it set up so they can pump the chemicals straight into the tankers. During the strike, these tankers were filled right to the top. Like this one, that's filled with propylene glycol, which is a key component of antifreeze.
If it doesn't go soon, things are going to get very full here. We won't be able to move anything.
Are all the trucks in use?
All of them.
Train cars filled to capacity and clogged up tracks. The backlog caused by a strike can last up to 3 times as long as the strike itself.
We've already amassed considerable costs because we've had to make exceptional efforts to get the job done. Since the 28th of August, we've had special logistic meetings twice a day to establish where we can get empty tankers and whether they can get moved out for transport. Obviously, we'll be relieved when it's over. What we're currently doing isn't normal, and if we have to continue for weeks with crisis management, it's not going to work.
The train drivers have been on strike 6 times since the end of August. The most recent strike lasted 3 days, and companies are worried that there might be another one again soon.